What's going on, fellas? Welcome back to the channel, man. It's your boy, and as you can see, man, the patch notes for update 4.9 is now officially live. So let's talk about it, man. We got good news and bad news. So first and foremost, bad news, boys. No Omega Red. Bad news at the very least for me. I was really hoping to see Omega Red making it in this update. When I saw Juggernaut, the first thing I thought was, Omega Red, please? No? Nah, no Omega Red. Only 3 new characters, and the 3 characters that we knew about from day 1. We got 3 new uniforms, so we now have official confirmation that we are getting a uniform for Nightcrawler. Looking forward to seeing how that turns out. Next thing I want to talk about is actually the server going down. It's going to be going down at 5 p.m. PST. It's going to be going down for 6 hours, so this is going to be sad times for a lot of people, myself included. So yeah, stay tuned for that, boys. That's going to be a rough 6 hours, because whenever this game goes down, man, people start going through withdrawals, and one of them, we're all addicts, and admitting you're an addict is the first step to recovery. But I don't think there's any recovery for what we got, boys. So yeah, anyway, server's going to be coming back at 11 p.m. PST, or for me, 2 a.m. because I'm on the East Coast. So yeah, as usual, we're gonna get some little rewards here. So 100 energy, 5-star hero chest for me. I'm gonna get some juicy Hulkling bios to feed to my other characters. For you guys, hopefully you can snag yourself a premium hero. We're also getting 50 boost points. Next thing I want to talk about is the new characters, how they look on paper. So let's actually go down here. And the first one we gotta talk about is Warpath, and he's actually the free character from this update, as a lot of people expected, because he's the one that isn't as popular to as many people. He's gonna be coming in the form of a new dimension rift like Angel, so he's farmable. That's actually really good, because mutants in Marvel Future Fight are not that farmable. So the fact that he's farmable, really good, free to play friendly. He can also be gotten from the Shield Lab, similar to Nightcrawler and X-23, and obviously he's going to be in the X-Gene Selector if you want to pick that up from the store. Also in the premium hero chest, but don't take your chances on that, boys. Looking at his kit overall, I think he's going to be a solid character if he has a couple iframes in his kit defensively. Right, we saw in the little trailer that they released that he seems to have a couple iframes. So if that's the case, defensively at the very least, he may actually be a pretty solid combat character. Offensively though, I'm really worried about his damage, because I see a lot of bleed in his kit, and bleed damage in Marvel Future Fight is pure garbage unless it's being done to you by a boss in some kind of stage, whether it's World Boss Ultimate or in Shadowland. So if he relies on bleed to the bulk of his damage, he's not going to be very good. So hopefully that is not the case. But he has a couple really good passives, right? His 4-star passive giving him a 20% increase to crit rate. Super armor and all defense is actually pretty good. His leadership is garbage because it's all speed. You never want to use that. Those have no value. Tier 2 passive giving him increase to skill damage and bonus damage, and a 25% increase to critical damage, and 30% guaranteed crit rate is actually really good. So hoping that he doesn't rely on bleed damage too much, hoping he has a couple iframes to go along with the 4 seconds of damage immunity that he has here. And he also has defense down. 15% is not really that good, especially for 5 seconds, but hopefully his damage is respectable. So we'll just have to wait and see. There are a lot of bleed damage, and that's just a real big turn off for me. Moving on, we have Sabretooth, the man, the myth, the legend, the man of the hour, the character that a lot of people were banking on, and they put him in the crystal shop alongside Emma Frost. This is gonna piss off a lot of people, but hear me out, guys. This could have been a lot worse. They could have put him in the X-Gene Selector. They could have easily done that, and then he would have been unavailable, unattainable by all of you guys who are free to play. At the very least, if he's in the crystal shop, you can grind and save crystals just like you do for the deluxe packages, right? So keep that in mind. At the very least, he is somewhat attainable, even though he's expensive. But we all expected this. Mutants make Netmarble a lot of money, and somebody like Sabretooth, who is a very popular and beloved character, Come on, guys, we expected this, okay? So yeah, let's actually move on. Besides that, his kit actually looks pretty good. Leadership is the exact same as Wolverine. The two characters are literally mirror opposites of each other, so to be expected. His 4-star passive is actually pretty cool, right? He gives himself that healing, but besides that, when he's attacking, there's a 50% chance that he can reduce the enemy's defenses by 55% for 10 seconds. If this applies in World Boss Ultimate, this will be freaking awesome. One of the best 4-star passives in the game. This is awesome. A 55% defense down that stacks all the way up, man. And it's there for 10 seconds on a 1-second cooldown, which means this is basically up all the time. If he has like a lot of hits on his skills, 50%, it's gonna be like 100%. So that's really, really cool. Now, that's only on his tier 1 4-star passive. Tier 2 passive, he gives himself a 30% chance at applying 100% critical damage increase to himself, similar to Victorious. And that's actually pretty cool. That's probably gonna scale his damage a crazy amount. And on top of that, he gives himself 30% guaranteed crit rate. So Sabretooth looking like a savage. I'm actually going to splurge on him day 1. Hopefully RNG doesn't troll me and cost me a whole bunch of crystals, but I'll do it and see just how much we can get out of Sabretooth. I'm looking forward to playing with him, and I know a lot of you guys are too. Moving on, we have a lot of bleed in his kit as to be expected. We also have incapacitation. He gives himself 4 seconds of damage immunity, similar to Warpath. His is on a slightly longer cooldown time, but his actually gives him more because he gives himself an attack buff here, all speed, and he also can remove incapacitation from himself. That's actually really, really cool. Moving on, we have some stuns, some more bleed. All of this typical from him, but we also have some penetration here. Unfortunately, it's only for barrier and shield, so I'm not too sure how he's going to do in PvP. I was really looking forward to using him as PvP as well, because we all know Wolverine, when he first came to the game, he was a big part of the timeline meta, and I was kind of hoping that would be the same thing for Sabretooth as well. But not having the ability to penetrate, most importantly damage immunity, I'm not too sure how he's gonna do. Maybe with a CDP of destruction, he would be good there. I'm not sure. Just gonna wait and see on that. Anyways, moving on, we have one of the most controversial parts of this update, for me at the very least, and that's actually Juggernaut. Juggernaut is actually in the X-Gene daily selector, and I hope to God this is a typo, because Netmarble, Juggernaut is not a mutant. Like, my guy gets his powers from the Sidorak gem, right? If anything, he should have actually been in the daily bioselector alongside Sentinel. Why are you guys putting a non-mutant in the X-Gene selector? It doesn't make sense, and it's actually gonna piss off a whole lot of people. I can already see it already. So yeah, if there's time to change this, change it, because just being premium alone is gonna piss off a lot of people. Putting him in the wrong selector is gonna piss off even more people. So yeah, that kind of sucks. Anyways, moving on, that aside, looking at his kit, it's pretty solid, but I kind of wanted a little bit more. Leadership, typical. Defense increase, makes sense. It's Juggernaut, he's supposed to be a super tank. Moving on, we have his 4-star passive. Not as good as somebody like Sabretooth, but still pretty solid. A 25% damage reduction with super armor and all defense. Frankly, I was hoping for 60 to 70%, you know what I'm saying? Because I wanted him to tank like a mother, because it's the Juggernaut, you know what I'm saying? But hopefully, the fact that they gave him healing, which I wasn't really expecting on his tier 2 passive, hopefully that will make up for the lack of damage reduction. So we got a 3.5% max HP recovery for 1 second once he goes below 99%, which is actually pretty solid if you ask me. And then we got, when he goes below 50% HP, my guy gives himself an attack buff, and he also removes incapacitation, and he becomes immune to mind damage. That's actually pretty cool. I would have liked it if he was just immune to mind damage all the time, but there are instances in the comic book or in the TV shows where people manage to take off his helmet and they're able to manipulate his mind. So yeah, makes sense that it's a chance type of thing once he gets really low on HP. Moving on, we got some stuns here. We also have Fracture on one of his skills. He has 100% damage immunity for 5 seconds. So all 3 of these characters coming in have damage immunity. He also has damage accumulation, which is very, very good. Moving on, we have another skill with Fracture, which is pretty cool. So he looks like he might have a little bit of PvP usefulness. We'll just have to wait and see. He also gives himself a guard hit, and he can also reduce the enemy's attack power by 25% for 7 seconds. So that's pretty cool. He doesn't have any penetration. So once again, I'm not too sure how he's going to work out in PvP, because right now it's the penetration meta. You have to be able to penetrate stuff like super armor and damage immunity at the very least, because so many characters in PvP have those 2 things. So with no penetration, or at the very least no penetration listed, I'm worried about his PvP usefulness. But as you all know, I'm a PvE guy, so if he's really good in World Boss Ultimate, then I'm already good, right? But still, would be nice if he was able to do something in PvP as well, because he's a Juggernaut, right? So moving on, we got the 3 new uniforms. First and foremost in the front row, my guy DP, and his uniform is a premium uniform, as to be expected, right? So that's gonna eat up a whole bunch of feathers. Same thing for Wolverine. His uniform bonus is actually pretty good at 10% max HP increase, is actually really good. Also changing up his passive and his Merc with the Mouth skills. So I'm really looking forward to seeing just how much more deadly of a character DP becomes. I was really hoping for some chain hit on his uniform, but it might have been too much to ask for. Really banking on some hidden damage accumulation in DP's kit, because those are the 2 things that I really wanted. Also wanted them to play around with the 3rd skill. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what they do for his skill changes. More importantly, Wolverine, he needs the skill changes. DP doesn't really need anything. That HP increase alone is gonna make him a beast. Like, well, he's already a beast. Like, he's gonna be next level beast in freaking PvP with that HP increase. That's for damn sure, right? Wolverine, he needs those skill changes. He needs at least 3 or 4 skill changes. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do for his changes. But for the uniform bonus, they basically just combined his previous uniforms, and we have this one right here. So I'm glad they kept, at the very least, the damage reduction. Honestly, I would have been very happy if they had just thrown away the ignore defense and just gave him 25% instead of 15% for the damage reduction, because pretty much everybody has 30% ignore defense coming from their cards, and once you get your character with an offensive ISO set, you're up to like 40%, and most of these characters come with a little bit of ignore defense already in their kit. So this ignore defense being on the uniform is just useless for me. I'm already over the cap for ignore defense for Wolverine. This 10% is just pure garbage to me, so kind of sad. It would have been nice for him to get 25% for the damage reduction to bump up his PvP usefulness even more. But the uniform increasing his stats is definitely going to put him back into the fold. That's for sure, even if he doesn't get any skill change. But if he doesn't, I'm going to be pissed, and a lot of people are going to be pissed as well. Moving on, we have Nightcrawler, and his uniform bonus is actually chain hit damage, what I wanted for DP over Wolverine, but he got it's only 5%, so it's nothing crazy. But more than anything else, I'm looking forward to the skill changes for Nightcrawler. It's a 750 uniform, but I really want him to get rid of the little bamps, because they really jeopardize this guy's survivability and overall his damage when it comes to stuff like World Boss Ultimate. So yeah, looking forward to seeing how they change around his uniform. Moving forward, we have 4 characters that can now go to level 70. So a lot of you guys were wondering if Rogue and Beast and those characters were going to get their level 70. Not this time around. It's only going to be Logan, Sabretooth, Warpath, and my guy Juggernaut. Moving on, we have the tier 3 skill for Wolverine, which looks like he has a shit ton of hits and covers a very large radius, so that is going to be awesome. It also has damage accumulation, which is something I really wanted for him, and it also has a 50% all defense down for 10 seconds, so that's actually really good. Also, he can penetrate super armor, shield, barrier, damage immunity, and invincibility, which makes this is a very, very good skill. And also, a lot of the tier 3 skills in the game have a hidden ignore iframe effect on them, and if this is one of them, this is actually going to be a very dangerous skill. He also gives himself 6 seconds of damage immunity, which is actually pretty freaking awesome. So looking forward to playing with my guy Logan at tier 3, that's for damn sure. Moving on, we have Shadowland improvements, and this one has me hyped, boys. There are more reasons to love Shadowland once our March update lands. We've added more than 31 floors. Okay, 31. Keep in mind that before the update, I said I was hoping for 15 to 25 new stages. Netmarble just straight up gave us confirmation that we're getting at least 31 new floors, and we're getting a new interface. But check this out. Once you're able to clear stage 30 of Shadowland, you can now challenge infinite floors. Netmarble, be careful now. You best be careful now. Don't tell me no infinite floor if I have a... Oh my goodness, guys, I'm about to die now. This guy just said infinite floors. I'm lost because y'all just said we've added more than 31 floors. But then in the next sentence, well, sorry, in the next paragraph, you said infinite floors. What? This is freaking awesome. If I can play infinite Shadowland stages until I run out of characters, this is exactly what this game needed for me to now invest in a lot more characters, because the fun will literally never end. This is freaking awesome, guys. This is truly awesome. This could be, like I was saying, the update of the year. This is freaking awesome. 31 plus new floors, and once you clear stage 30, you can clear infinite floors. But that's not it, man. And honestly, this new interface looks freaking awesome. I don't know about you guys, but this just reminds me of back in the day playing Mortal Kombat, trying to get to the top of the tower. You know what I'm saying? That it just looks sick, dog. It looks so sick. I can't wait to jump in. Also, keep in mind, guys, this new Shadowland is not going to be live once the update drops. It's actually not going to be live until Thursday when Shadowland resets, like the normal time, okay? So keep that in mind. You can start Shadowland whenever you want. I was actually sitting on floor 1. I was waiting to see what they were going to do, and it looks like they're just going to wait until Shadowland refreshes. They're not going to like forcefully refresh it for us. They're just gonna wait until it refreshes and turns over on Thursday, which is fine with me if you ask me. I'm also really hoping that there's some X-Gene selectors in the new reward system for the stages past 30. So looking forward to seeing that. Also keep in mind, past stage 30, you can only use 6-star tier 2 characters, and to be honest, once you get higher, you're probably going to need to use tier 3s, and you're also going to need to use level 70 characters. So yeah, get to building, boys, get to building. Moving on, we have something very, very important to talk about. So in addition, you can earn shadow points. Sounds pretty cool, shadow points. Anyways, you can earn shadow points upon clearing each floors starting from 31. So you earn these shadow points and you turn them in, and you can actually now, guys, it's official, this is the big boy leagues, you can get CTPs from Shadowland chests. This is freaking awesome. It's still RNG, just like the hand chest, right? But this is pretty awesome to be able to get CTPs of energy or rage if that's your fancy. But I'm really looking forward to this. The drop rates are going to be abysmal, honestly. Okay, expect to get clear ticket and like hidden tickets and some uniform upgrade kits, but for the lucky few who believe in Wanda, expect to see a CTP at least once a year. Yeah, once a year. That's probably the most you can hope for, honestly. Anyways, I'm really happy that Netmarble decided to finally put some CTPs in Shadowland, so I'm looking forward to that. It would be nice if one of these boxes actually allow you to get premium comic cards as well, so that would definitely make this game mode worth investing a lot of your time, kind of like how we're investing basically all of our time right now in World Boss Ultimate. So yeah, Shadowland looks like it's gonna be lit, man. Moving on, we have a new uniform collection theme that was added for the X-Force, and they actually included Angel's uniform there, so that's actually pretty cool since most of us already have it. Colossus uniform in this one, that's pretty cool. Moving on, they added a new comic card. However, this comic card isn't really that good because it's giving you dodge and ignore defense. I would personally skip this, but it's actually just given to you from farming for Warpath, so you could complete it just for the collection bonus if it is getting included in one of the uniform collections that currently exist, but I doubt it because they didn't say anything. Moving on, we have the Sabretooth package here. They're just basically telling you that once you buy it, it switches over to start giving you his bios. First, you get him at 6 stars for 2,500 crystals, and then for half the price, you get 160. I really think they should have upped this because Emma Frost, painful. Hopefully this is on sale. I'm really hoping that they put this on sale when the update drops, like they did for Emma Frost a few months ago. Same thing they did for Adam Warlock. It'd be pretty cool if just when the update drops they put it on sale. That would be pretty awesome because I'm probably gonna pick it up. Well, not probably, definitely gonna pick it up day one, and I don't want to have to burn through all my crystals. Moving on, we have other game improvements here, small stuff. This is just showing you that rift for Warpath, and then we have a couple bug fixes down here for Nick Fury to make him even more powerful. We also have a fix here for Captain Marvel, has to do with her tier 3 skill. Most people were spamming it indefinitely, so it looks like they finally fixed that, and that will no longer be the case. But besides that, man, overall this looks like a pretty solid update. Once again, no Omega Red. I'm so sad. I was really looking forward to that, but with infinite Shadowland stages, CTPs now being a part of Shadowland, I can honestly say that this update is definitely going to be one to remember. But anyways, boys, leave me your thoughts in the comments. Let me know how you guys are feeling, man. I know there's a few things that they didn't get right, like putting Juggernaut in the X Gene selector when at the very least he should have been in the monthly bio selector, and the fact that Sabretooth is crystal lock. A lot of you guys are not going to like that, but at the very least he's crystals and not cash, and crystals can be earned for free over time, and just like how a lot of you guys who are completely free to play collect crystals and pick up the deluxe packages over time. It's a slow grind, but at the very least the character is attainable, right? So take solace in that. But let me know what your thoughts are overall on this update, man. I'll catch y'all in the next one.